And welcome into scenic Larry Miller Field on the campus of Brigham Young University, the site of the 2022 6A Baseball State Championship Tournament. I'm Dusty Lister along with you here. Sorry, we're really excited. Curtis Pettengill, super excited. Next to us is the Davis Darts has scored with 4 seconds left. No, Harriman got him. Harriman won with 4 seconds left in the 6A Boys Soccer Championship. So we'll start that over. But again, welcome into Miller Field, the site of the 2022 6A Baseball State Tournament. KSLSports.com, commentary brought to you by Game Night Live Rewind as always. I'm Dusty Lister, brought to you by Heinemann Associates and Western Governors University. Our matchup tonight, American Fork and Farmington, a rematch of last night. The winner, well, if American Fork wins, they move into the 6A Championship Series to take on Riverton in the best of three that will start on Friday. However, if Farmington wins, we will be here tomorrow, currently scheduled for 7 p.m. I don't know if that get moved to 4:30 or not. But we will play tomorrow if Farmington pulls off the win tonight. Of course, AF beat Farmington last night. It was a 5-run inning that powered the win for American Fork. As it was Josh Rojas getting things started with a 2-run home run. But it was a 5-run fourth that powered the Cavemen. So it's going to be a lot of fun tonight as we'll go through defensive starters for American Fork. Pitching for the Cavemen is Dax Newman. In the outfield from left to right is C.J. Mascaro in left, Caden Carpenter in center, and Ben Rudder in right field. On the infield from left to right, Easton Jones at third, Fisher Ingersoll at short, and Ryder Robinson at second, and Dax Watts on first. The battery with Dax Newman is Josh Rojas. Is that first pitch in there for a called strike one on the plate tonight is Lyle Mangum. On the base paths, Trent Allred on first and Kevin Macho on third. As that second pitch is in there for called strike two. Tucker Wall leads things off for Farmington. And he lifts that 0-2 pitch in the left field. It's going to be interesting to watch how the sun has dealt with the shadows here, but Mascaro able to keep his eyes open to pull that one in. You saw him as soon as he got done, he took off his hat, kind of wiped his face as the sun just hanging out just above the press box and the canopy here, which causes the shadows. Luckily, here at first pitch, the shadows have completely covered the pitcher's mound. As stepping in now is Jack Hansen as he looks at ball one. Again, as we mentioned, Farmington wins. We'll be back here tomorrow. If AF takes care of business, they will move into the championship game on Friday, championship series, as Carpenter tracks that one down for the second out of the inning. Jack Hansen. And now Mason Cook coming to the plate. Farmington came back down 3-0 against Fremont to win 4-3, or probably 5-3, as they beat Fremont twice this week. The number one ranked team in the RPI coming into the state tournament. As Cook looks at ball two. Cook lifts this one out of play. Down the right field line, 2 balls and a strike to the catcher. Cook had an RBI single in the win over Fremont that drove in the insurance run, make it 5-3. It was a dark one. It was a little, kind of a swing and bunt, little lob shot right over the pitcher's mound that died in the infield. And the 3-1 pitch is blown away, and that is a 2-out walk. Farmington played 2 runs in the game last night. There's Park Romney. Had a terrific defensive play in that loss last night as he looks at strike one. Ground ball left side, Ingersoll with it, Fisher up and on his way to first for the third out of the inning. Farmington got a man on. It wasn't enough. As we go to the bottom of the first inning, it's American Fork coming to the plate. You're watching the 2022 6A State Championship Baseball Tournament. So bottom of the first inning. First look at the Cavemen this evening. Leading things off is the second baseman, Ryder Robinson. And as soon as the shadow gets past the infield, the picture will clear up a bit as that pitch is off the mark. Right now it's kind of glowing a little and trying to make the adjustments, but kind of washes things out. So we shoot from shadow to light, kind of the things we deal with as that one is off the plate. Count out 2 balls and no strikes. Ryder was 2 for 3 with 2 runs driven in last night. Hits this one through the right side. Nice shot getting over and making the play for Farmington was Caden Willis. And Robinson retired for the first out. Caleb Takamori did a pretty good job against American Fork. But down and put him out in order in the first. Only faced 4 in the second, faced 4 in the third. The fourth innings where the runs were scored and went essentially in order in the fifth with 4 hitters, then in order in the sixth. But that fourth inning was just too much. That's what this powerful lineup will do. Here's Fisher Ingersoll, the shortstop, as he looks at a pitch on the outside part of the plate, well off of it, evens the count at 1-1. We had the same same situation last night, trying to live away from this power. And that outside corner was well missed. As Ingersoll swings through that one, the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Has power to all fields. Does Ingersoll, we mentioned last night, going to be going to TCU. The 2-sport star at American Fork. Did he go? He did not. Moves the count to 2-2. And the 2-2 swung on a miss, strike 3. Ingersoll retired on the off-speed 73-mile-an-hour pitch. And there's 2 away.
Number 3, Easton Jones.
That brings up Easton Jones. And that pitch off the mark. The 1-0. Offered at it, count goes to 1-1. And a lot of times you got a lineup like this, American Fork. If you got a guy that can consistently throw off-speed pitches, can keep them off balance, doesn't have to throw hard. If he can throw off-speed pitches consistently and for strikes, they'll keep these big bats off balance. It's just a matter of how long can you hold him. And he has to throw early strikes. And now the 2-1. That one misses. Count runs to 3 balls and a strike. The 3-1 lifted out of play, and the count goes full. Full count pitch lifted out, and we'll do it again. Seen this a lot this week, not just today. Seen a lot this week. In fact, if you just watch the end of the Pleasant Grove game, Zamboni fouled off double-digit pitches the final out of the game. As Jones gives this one a ride to left center field. Hanson going back, and that's going to get to the wall. And it's over the wall. Ground rule double for Easton Jones. Initially, it looked like he might have got out on his front foot, but caught the barrel, and that was a long ways to go for Hanson, who's a very good center fielder. So the 2-out ground rule double going to bring up Caden Carpenter. Carpenter looks at ball one. Got a 403 on the year, drove in 28 runs, 10 doubles. As he looks at strike one. He wants to know from the umpire, where was it? And now the 1-1 from Landon Day. Called strike two. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second. Back up the middle. And it is got a runner on second base, nothing doing as Tucker Wall retires Carpenter for the 3rd out of the inning. 1 complete, tied at 0. You're watching the 2022 6A baseball tournament on KSLSports.com. Top of the 2nd inning. As always, Cape Nile Rewind brought to you by Western Governors University. Made 2022 the year of you. Go to wgu.edu to fill out your opportunity to get a $1,000 scholarship at Western Governors University. Choose your degree and earn it at your own pace, on your own time. Western Governors University, wgu.edu. So Dax Newman on the year, 5-1. The sub-3 ERA. So that's in there. A ball and a strike here to Luke Workman, the left fielder. The 1-1 well wide, and it is 2 balls and a strike. And that ball lifted high into shallow center field. Again, the sun's going to be an issue right now. And able to camp underneath it. Not going to look pretty at times, but that ball just hanging in the sun. Is Caden Carpenter able to retire for the 1st out of the inning.
The third baseman, number 3, Easton White.
And I'll bring up Easton White. The 3rd baseman. And that is off the plate, ball 1. That's been the thing here for Farmington. Can they manufacture some runs so you're not going to be able to hold AF down in low-scoring games? Ingersoll able to knock it down in the infield. Diving attempt, that's an infield single, is wide aboard.
The designated hitter, number 10, Takamori.
So that brings up Caleb Takamori with the runner on first base and 1 out. Outside strike. The 0-1 fouled off as well, so it goes to no balls and 2 strikes here to Takamori, the designated hitter. He was the pitcher last night. Went 6 complete through 95 pitches. So he would not be available. He would not be available tomorrow. It would be available on Friday if Farmington were able to pull this off, as he goes down on strikes, and there's 2 away. A nice pitch there from Newman. And that brings up Landon Tanner. Tanner was a winning pitcher on Monday in the first win against Fremont. As that's in there for a called strike. And look back at first. Tanner singled last evening. He was 1 for 3 from the plate. Off-speed pitch in there for a called strike 2. Now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on first base here for the Phoenix. And that one gets away. So Rojas couldn't corral it. The runner moves up to second base. So a ball and 2 strikes with the runner on second. Farmington push him across. He holds off. The count goes to 2-2. The 2-2 pitch is balanced. The count now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Was ahead 0-2. Good at bat here from Tanner. Protecting, not chasing. There we go. Payoff pitch. Swung through and missed. Leaves a runner in scoring position as we go to the bottom of the second inning. American Fork coming to the plate. You're watching the 2022 6A Baseball State Tournament on KSLSports.com.
Now for American Fork, in a second, the catcher, number 7, Josh Rojas.
We have Josh Rojas to start the bottom of the second inning. Dusty Litster with you here from Larry Miller Field. Rojas hit a 2-run shot last night. His second home run of the tournament. And also hit one on Monday. Took one off the wall after that as well in left field. And he looks at strike 1. Well ahead of that. Strike 2. It's a little 10-mile-an-hour difference, 81-71. One lifted in the right field. Romney is there for the first out of the inning. Just that difference of being out in front or not. Where your hands are and everything else. It's always been said the toughest thing to do in sports is take a round ball with a round bat and hit it square. As that brings up the pitcher, Dax Newman, who looks at ball one. And that pitch misses, goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Little update from UVU. Salem Hills has done it again. They were trailing, I'm trying to remember where the deficit was, but it's currently 11-10 with the bases loaded. Again. And it's the top of the 6th, which is their inning. And that pitch is in the dirt. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Here to Dax Newman. Three-one waved on, strike 2. The payoff pitch misses up. And it's a leadoff walk to Newman, who was 2 for 2 and a run scored last night. So he gets aboard again. He'll come off in favor of a speed-up runner. But don't have him up yet. So he'll put on the Mike Trout oven mitt. He wants to run his own bases. Look how Shohei Ohtani has affected baseball at all levels. A pitch off the mark. Like Pedro Serrano. He'll do it himself. Dax Watts now at the plate. The 1-0 in there for a called strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner on first for the Cavemen. This one lined into center field. Is going to drop in, going from first to third as that ball jumped a little bit. And a nice piece of hitting there by Dax Watts as Newman goes from first to third, and now runners on the corners with 1 out.
Designated hitter, number 5, Davis Andrews.
Now Davis Andrews in the first-third situation. Haven't seen the fake the third look at first move yet this week. Then again, I think we've seen more left-handed pitchers than I can recall. Almost every team has thrown one. They're going to look back to first. Again, want to keep the double play ball in order to see if they can get out of the inning with that go-ahead run at third base. That one dribbled foul for the first strike. And Salem Hills has come all the way back to tie it up at 11. Coach Haney's crew, 3 days in a row. Absolutely amazing. Three days in a row, they've come back from big deficits in the 6th inning. They scored 12 runs in the 6th inning earlier today to knock out Wasatch. That was after the 12 or probably the 10-inning game yesterday against Jordan. They were down 8-2, took the lead, gave it up, and got it back in extras. If they beat Olympus, they'll play again tomorrow at UVU. This ball will be chopped to the left side, going to cut him down at home. Runner went on contact, didn't need to. Newman tagged out. Heads up play at third base, and there's 2 away. Ran themselves right out of it. Easton White saw it. Everything in front of him, too. Newman didn't need a run on contact. Saw that yesterday. We talked about it quite a bit. Runner at second base with nobody behind him. You don't have to go. Same situation there. Nothing forcing Newman to come home on a ground ball in front of him. See if Farmington can make it hurt and get out of the inning. So Andrews reaches on the fielder's choice. And I'll bring up C.J. Mascaro, the left fielder. As he fouls that one off for the first strike. And the 0-1, fastball off the plate. Certainly, if you're Farmington, the out to get here is Mascaro. Then I have to go through Robinson, Ingersoll, Jones, who are lurking at the top of the bridge. That one bounced. Wisely holds on to it. Does Mason Cook. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs and 2 on for the 9-hitter, C.J. Mascaro, the left fielder. And that one wide of the plate. Got 3-1. Don't want to mess around with the 9-hitter. And bring up bases loaded, and Ryder Robinson, who is due up. Got to feed him. 3-1. Fastball, called strike 2. If he's set up outside, he still throws a strike inside, it's a strike. That's usually one of the frustrating things for most fans or a batter. No matter where he called it, it's where it went. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. And that's ball 4. So all for naught. American Fork fans like basketball saying the ball don't lie. And bases loaded as we go to the top of the order.
The second baseman, number 1, Ryder Robinson.
So Ryder Robinson comes to the plate. That one fouled to the screen by Robinson. Big at bat in this ball game. We talked about the 5-run fifth last night. Certainly don't want to get the wheels turning with Robinson, Ingersoll, Jones, and Carpenter, and then Rojas. The 0-1, yes. Quickly 0-2. That one is 74 miles an hour. He can go all secondary pitches here. Just want to bounce it. The go-ahead run at third. The 0-2. Enticing, but well off the plate. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Going to come inside and plunked him. Going to bring across the first run on the hit batsman. So AF takes the lead, and that will bring up Fisher Ingersoll.
The shortstop, number 9, Fisher Ingersoll.
That's back-to-back walks. What was about? There's no defense for a walk. We learned in that Farmington Fremont game, put the ball in play and make the defense play it. You might get some gifts. So here comes Ingersoll. Went down on strikes in the first inning. Lifts this one in the left field, tailing away. That's going to score runs. It's a 3-run double for Fisher Ingersoll as he'll hold up at second, and he scores everybody. And it is 4-0 in favor of the Cavemen. Big at bat for the senior Fisher Ingersoll.
The third baseman, number 3, Easton Jones.
And now Easton Jones comes to the plate. And before that, we have a meeting on the mound. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the 2022 6A State Baseball Tournament. So come out to calm down Landon Day as Easton Jones steps in with Ingersoll at second and 2 outs. Misses inside. Jones doubled back in the bottom of the first. Nice job by Cook. Able to eat that one up, and now 2 balls and no strikes. And the 2-0 misses away. He can stay away again. Got a great hitter here sitting dead red. Might have a fresh count. Then go feeding him fastballs, middle. See what Coach Exxon decides to do. Stays away, called strike 1. Now, if you can get the Maddox treatment, might as well just stay there. And this one back up the middle. That's going to fall in. Here comes Fisher Ingersoll. And it is 5-0 American Fork. And just like last night, a 5-run inning for this offense is the RBI single from Jones. Going to bring up Caden Carpenter.
The center fielder, number 14, Caden Carpenter.
As that was fouled off. 0-1 to Carpenter. And Carpenter looks at ball 1. Oh, we had a ball from the bullpen. I was a little lost there for a second. It's a live arm down there in right field. So 1 ball and 1 strike here to Carpenter. Thought about it, held on. 2-1. Dangerous, dangerous count. With Rojas on deck. And this is the thing with American Fork. I had someone tell me, I don't know if they have enough pitching. So you might have worry about their pitching. I wonder if you have enough bats if you're going to hold down this lineup. Shared that with Coach Haney last night, too. As Carpenter goes to the right side. Going to be first to third for Easton Jones. Romney mishandles it in the outfield. Jones going to come around third to score. And now a 6-run inning as Carpenter will hold up at second base. Uncle Kelby going to feel pretty good about that for his nephew. And now 6-0 American Fork. So we're going to have the single to Carpenter, E9 allowing the run. So no RBI for Carpenter.
The catcher, number 7, Josh Rojas.
As we batted around, Rojas comes to the plate, flew out to right earlier in the inning. And a big crooked number here. So a little update from UVU. Salem Hills up at the top of the 7th, trailing 11-10. And now Exxon will come out and change pitchers. So we'll have the update for you in just a moment. You're watching the 2022 6A State Baseball Tournament.
College wasn't built for me.
It didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
So here's Josh Rojas going to face our new pitcher, Matt Hecht, with 2 on, or probably 1 on and 2 out. I mentioned Rojas led off the inning, flew out to right, and that little breaking piece is wide of the plate. And now the 1-0, plunked him. They say in the movie Dodgeball, right in the Tookus. So runners on first and second. So Rojas will come off in favor of his speed-up runner.
Number 22, Sawyer Hardman.
So Sawyer Hardman coming on to run.
The pitcher, number 15, Dax Newman.
And it brings up Dax Newman. And Newman lifts that one out of play. Newman walked and was thrown out at home at the beginning of the threat. Remember, all these runs were scored with 2 outs. Oh, the breaking pitch. But the preferred corner, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here for Dax Newman. And that pitch is wide and knocked down. Good work on the plate by Mason Cook. To recall, Newman walked and went first third on a single to the right side, and then a fielder's choice to Andrews as he was cut down at home. That was the second out, and after all that, everything broke loose as that is a called strike 3. But it's a 6-run inning for American Fork. Cavemen doing caveman things as we go to the top of the 3rd. Farmington come to the plate. You're watching the 2022 6A State Baseball Tournament. Top of the third inning, and Farmington's got a hole to climb out of, trailing 6-0 after the 6-run second from the Cavemen. So starting things off for Farmington is going to be the 9-hole hitter, Landon Day. First at bat for Day, facing Dax Newman. That's in there for a called strike one. And the 0-1 pitch, inside corner, strike two. And strike three. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for the first out of the inning. An update from UVU. Olympus held off the charge from Salem Hills. Take it 11-10. Salem Hills got the game-tying run on with no outs, and they were able to get the job done. So Olympus moves on to the 5A championship game. We mentioned as well as championship day in boys soccer, Harriman with the goal. We saw it, if you join us at the very top, Harriman scored with 4 seconds left to take home the championship. The 18th seed in the RPI. They take the 6A championship. Alta won in PKs as they tied the state record for most state championships in soccer. And there's a check swing by Wall. They say he's good. Ball and 2 strikes to Tucker. And he swings through that one. Drop third strike. Throw to first from Rojas on time. And there's 2 away.
Center fielder number 2, Jack Hansen.
That brings up Jack Hansen. Flew out to center in the first. He lifts this one into center field. Carpenter's got a long way to go. That's going to get all the way to the wall. That's a 2-out double. Not going to test Carpenter's arm. Actually, probably would have been safe. They don't make the first or third out at third. Is Hansen. See if he can breathe some life into this Farmington dugout with a 2-out double.
Number 13, Mason Cook.
Bring up Mason Cook. And the 0-1 pitch. That's up and in. Evens the count, a ball and a strike here to Mason Cook. Reached on a walk in his first appearance. Base hit could score a run. Playing him shallow in right field. And lifts this one into right field, tailing toward the line, and it's foul. Would have been trouble. But Ben Rudder was there. So I'll draw a trip out to the mound from American Fork. Going to reset our day. If Farmington stages a comeback, we'll be back here tomorrow. We'll see what time that game would be. Currently scheduled for 7 p.m. I imagine possibly get moved. We also have softball happening here tomorrow at Gail Miller Field. The 5A tournament is Bountiful versus Lehigh. That game will get started in 30 minutes, so about 8:30. Riverton's already punched their ticket to Friday to the championship series. Remember, it's best of 3, so the winner, if AF wins, they will go against Riverton on Friday, the game 1 of the best of 3. If Farmington wins, we'll be back here tomorrow. The winner of that game will go to the best of 3 against the Silver Bulls starting on Friday. So a ball and 2 strikes and 2 outs to the catcher Cook. And that one's knocked down by Rojas, still down to second for good measure. Evens the count at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second base. That one's wide the plate, and again, Rojas able to keep it in front. Park Romney on deck if Cook can extend the inning. Step off with Robbins coming hard on the backside there from second base. The payoff pitch, wide, and ball 4. So runners on first and second for the Phoenix. Can they make some 2-out noise?
Running at first base, number 28, Ryan Dallas. Out to the right fielder, number 17, Mark Romney.
So Ryan Dallas in to speed up. And Park Romney offers that one and fouls it off. And now the 0-1 from Newman. Big swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch at 74 miles an hour. Quickly down 0-2. Base hit will drive in a run. If you can find the wall to drive in 2. Have to shorten up here. Rojas setting up outside. The 0-2 pitch, well outside, and ball 1. I think they stay away there. Old school closed stance from Romney. And the 1-2, half-hearted swing, drop third strike. It's off his helmet, and that's going to not bring in a run. He'll load the bases, and since he's in the runner's lane, that's on Rojas. He's yelling outside, took it off the back of the helmet. So bases loaded on the drop third strike. Runners, young guys, that's why you take that runner lane. That's what that line is. So everybody aboard. So Luke Workman comes to the plate with bases loaded and 2 outs. That's outside, ball 1. Workman flew out to center. And again, Carpenter playing him shallow, standing in the logo. Just at the top of the Y. And the 1-0, foul out of play. Base hit scores 2, get one on the wall, scores 3. Can Workman come through? The 1-1. At Ingersoll, Fisher drops it and doesn't have a throw to first. So the error to Ingersoll and a run across for Farmington. And now Easton White comes to the plate. He singled last time up to the left side. Offers at the outside pitch, strike one. And now the 0-1 from Newman. Back up the middle. Ingersoll gives chase, able to get to it. Not going to be able to make a play, but does throw home in time. Rojas is there, and he's out at the plate. Plates a run, and Ingersoll with the 6-2 put out on Romney. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, it's 6-2. You're watching the 2022 6A state tournament on K. So Dax Watts will lead off the bottom of the third and looks a strike one. And he waves a strike two. Watts singled and scored last inning, as that one's there for ball one. And now the 1-2 inside. Watts fisted. Hecht comes over to make the play for the first out of the inning. Nice job of taking control by Hecht. Comes off the mound to make it. And that brings up Davis Andrews. Andrews back up the middle, and that's a one-out single.
Left fielder, number 4, C.J. Mascaro.
C.J. Mascaro comes to the plate. The 9-hitter. Top of the order coming up next. That one to second. Opportunity 4-6 on a 3. No, he's safe. Mascaro extends the inning by getting up the line. If he's right-handed, he's out. Since he's left-handed, he's there. So 2 away. So he reaches on the fielder's choice. So Ryder Robinson, the leadoff man, comes up, was hit by a pitch and scored a run last inning. And looks at strike one. So no balls and 1 strike, and try to keep the runner close. So no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, and that hit him. 2 straight at bats. Ryder Robinson, where's that one on the hip?
Shortstop, number 9, Fisher Ingersoll.
So that brings up Fisher Ingersoll. Of course, Fisher had the 3-run double last inning. Went opposite field, and he can drive in more. The Barry Zito curveball just missed a little bit. And I know Zito was left-handed. But here's the 1-0. No. Certainly off the plate. Trying not to supply power here to Fisher. Miss him inside. This is going to be a 7-run game. Missed up. So 3 balls and no strikes to Ingersoll. Getting Easton Jones rather on deck. But you run risk of loading the bases with 2 outs once again in the heart of the lineup for the Cavemen. And now the 3-0 called strike. And the 3-1. Hecht. Breaking ball wide of the plate, and they're going to load the bases with the walk to Ingersoll. And I'll bring up Easton Jones, who had 2 out and bases loaded. Looking like and feeling like last inning. And that'll bring Meaden to the mound. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the 2022 6A state tournament. So here's Easton Jones, the third baseman. Base is full of Cave people. Bender misses up. As I mentioned, Jones had a RBI single last inning, then scored. He doubled in the first. Hecht gets him to lift it up along the line. And nice job of getting over, making the play. There's Landon Tanner. Avoids the jam, gets out of it. And we go to the top of the 4th inning. American Fork American Fork leading in Farmington. Top of the 4th inning. And leading off for Farmington is Caleb Takamori. Caleb went down on strikes in the 2nd inning in his only plate appearance, and looking to get something started once again for this Farmington lineup. They found a little bit of something last inning, plating 2 runs. Farmington showed earlier today, you want to assist them, they'll take advantage of it. As that pitch is in there for a called strike, evens the count of the ball on a strike. And now the 1-1. Swung on, strike 2. And the 1-2. Grounded to short. Ingersoll over there. Fisher up with it. And on time for the first out of the inning. They're not going to get a lot of mistakes at Ingersoll. You better take advantage, and you do. And when you say last inning was a bunch of mistakes from him. Did have the 1 error with Workman. And Landon Tanner waves it down 1-1. That one misses up and in. Ball and a strike. Of course, Ingersoll still come back from the injury. I'm not saying that's what it was, and you got to make plays. And if you're out there, it means you're healthy enough to play. But that major knee injury at the end of football season, still coming back from that, as that is in there for a called strike 2. Tanner shorten up and get on base. Hits to right side. Robinson up with it. Solid defense over there from Ryder Robinson. And that is the second out of the inning. Good of a middle infield as you're going to see in high school baseball with Robinson and Ingersoll. At least this side of the prep school. That brings up Landon Day. And Day launches this one into the infield. Robinson calls it and takes it. A 3 up, 3 down, top of the fourth. Cavemen bats coming up. And the bottom of the fourth, you're watching the 2022 6A State Championship Baseball Tournament. Well, Caden Carpenter will start things off in the bottom of the fourth inning. Carp is 1 for 2 with the single. And this one, thought for sure was going out of play, but it is in play down the left field line. And that'll be a stand-up double for Caden Carpenter. Nice way to start the bottom of the fourth inning. And immediately a runner in scoring position. Kind of lose it. Immediately gets up above the canopy where we're sitting. And knew it was going to fall in once Carpenter kind of caught it and he took off. Just remember a home run he hit in that last chance tournament. So when I found out he was a sophomore, ball hasn't landed yet. It was hit so hard to right field. Out at the new American Fork baseball field. As Rojas shows some power the other way. Romney is there for the out. Carpenter will advance to third. So productive out there for Rojas.
The pitcher, number 15, Dax Newman.
That brings up Dax Newman. One reached on a walk and then went down on strikes. All in the 6-run second inning. A little bending piece taken by Tucker Wall onto first. And there's 2 outs. We take charge there by Tucker Wall. Even the fact all of his momentum wasn't taking him there. If a shortstop can get to it, he can take it. And I'll bring up Dax Watts. Watts singled and scored in the second. And he flew out to the pitcher in foul territory last inning. Misses wide on that one. So 1-0 lifted out of play. Ball and a strike. The 1-1 broke late, but didn't cross. 2-1. Draw some groans from the Farmington faithful. And now the 2-1. A little late movement on that one. Wall with it on to first. Nice job of corralling it. Yes, he did. Hey, Wall plays that hole well against American Fork. We go to the top of the 5th inning, and it's 6-2. See if Farmington gets something going. You're watching the 2022 6A baseball tournament. Top of the 5th inning. And Tucker Wall leading things off. So 1-2-3 due up for Farmington as they are down to their final 3 at bats to try to make up the 4-run difference. as Wall fouls that one off. Scored 2 runs on 3 hits. And assisted with 2 American Fork errors. The 0-1 well off the plate. Ball and a strike. And now the 1-1. At Robinson, Ryder puts him away for the first out. And I'll bring up Jack Hansen. See if Carpenter gives him a little more room. He's not. Burned him in third inning. The ball to the wall, as that one is up and in. The 1-0. Big swing. Strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Hansen. Remember, there's a first pitch that he lifted last time. And now the 1-1 lifted out of play. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jack. Looking for the bending piece right here. You stay on it and hit it the other way. He stayed, yeah. Easy one there for Trent Allred down at first base. Even though he's a Dodger fan, Trent knows baseball. So I know he goes back and watches these games. He knows what I'm talking about. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And doesn't miss by much, but does. Full count. The payoff pitch, wide of the plate. Ball 4. So man aboard for Farmington. So I'll bring up the catcher, Mason Cook.
The catcher, number 13, Mason Cook.
And Cook lines this one to short. Ingersoll, that kind of caught him in between. Sure, it was knuckled at him. Kind of took it weird. But either way, it's a tough spot to be in if you're Jack Hansen. So he'll reach on the fielder's choice, and Hansen retired short ways, 6'4".
Right fielder, number 17, Mark Romney.
I'll bring up Park Romney with 2 outs. And a runner on first base. And in there for a strike. And the 0-1 up in the zone. Evens a count of a ball and a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner on first. Is Newman going to keep him close? That's Ryan Dallas, the speed-up runner. And now the 1-1. Romney swings and misses. Rojas snapped down. Oh, he calls him safe. Goes for the Javi Lopez, probably better known, Benito Santiago snapped down the first. Real baseball fan, you know who Benito Santiago is. So we'll keep him at first. 2 balls and 1 strike is the count here to Romney. Park. Oh, probably 1 and 2. Park is 0 for 2. He did reach on a drop third strike. Remember that hit him on the helmet before the 2-run spurt here for Farmington. He again dropped third strike. Rojas inside the line, and that'll do it for the inning. Got one on, couldn't move him around. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and it's 6-2. You're watching the 6A state tournament. So Davis Andrews will lead things off the bottom of the 5th inning. And he wears it. Off-speed pitch, 65 was, he turned to wear it and had to wait for it. Tobin taking number. So brings Mascaro up. So a runner on first. They're going to bridge the top of the order. 8-9-1 due as Heck's pitch gets to the backstop and advance the runner to second. So runner in scoring position. Talking about bottom of the order activity. Can your 7, 8, 9 guys get things done in big games like this? Second inning, single. Reach on a fielder's choice and walk. All 3 scored. In the 3rd inning, he had a single, reach on a fielder's choice. No run scored, but they threatened. They got guys on board. And now here, the 8 hitter walked and is standing at second base. If a pitcher cannot handle the 7, 8, 9 guys, really just asking for trouble when your 1, 2, 3 come up. So 2 balls and no strikes to Mascaro. Whoa, that's in the dugout. And not a souvenir. So get it back. It's always fun. Gets everyone going. He got it in the first base dugout. The guys up against the wall had to jump out of the way. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As the Moises Alou styled CJ Mascaro, no batting gloves. Lifts this one in the left field, tailing toward the line. And that's going to fall in. Runner going to come around third to score. And that is an RBI double. All right. So they didn't go single. He takes that on the throw. I don't know where the official book will do. I'll go single, brings in and takes second on the throw as he drives in the run. And it's now 7-2. So 5-run game is Coach Exxon going to take time out, give us a chance to help you learn a little bit more about our friends at Western Governors University.
College wasn't built for me.
I didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I'm going to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
So, no balls and 1 strike to Robinson. He fouled that one away. A little slow breaking piece in there at 64 miles an hour. So he slowed the bat down. Got 1 to burn at 0-2. Good pitch. One entice him. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here. Well outside again, and goes to 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Robinson's got to feel good. He hasn't gotten hit by a pitch yet. Here's the 2-2. Stays away. A little late movement, stayed off the barrel of the bat. And we'll keep it here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the 2-2 hits him. I spoke too soon. That's 3 straight at bats for Ryder Robinson. Gets to a 2-2 count and has to wear it on the hip for the 3rd time tonight. Craig Biggio used to wear a ton of armor. He's the one that holds the record for most hit by pitches in Major League history. But Big wore a ton of gear. He made Barry Bonds look like he was playing rugby. Here's Fisher Ingersoll. And Fisher offers it the first one, the dark pitch outside. And 0-1. Fisher had a 3-run double and scored in the second. He walked last inning. And now the 0-1. This is into center field, going to score a run. Mascaro around third, and an RBI single for Fisher Ingersoll. And it's 8-2 in favor of the Cavemen.
The third baseman, Easton Jones.
So the game-ending runs on first base. Oh, pardon me. We're not there yet. 10. And that one was a ball. So 1-0 to Easton Jones. And the 1-0 bounce, and it's 2-0. Jones 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. And again, going to go well off the plate. Count out 3-0. And it's 3-0. Stays off the plate again. Bases loaded. Bases loaded for Caden Carpenter. And he is the game-ending run. And now I think Hanson's going to come in to pitch here for Coach Exxon. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. So Jack Hanson going to come in to pitch Caden Carpenter. Again, the Carpenter is the game-ending run.
The center fielder, number 14, Caden Carpenter.
Caden singled in the second. He doubled in the fourth. And Hanson pitched earlier today. Came in relief of Tucker Wall. That one misses wide. And the 1-0. 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. Big swing from Carpenter, strike 2. Josh Rojas on deck. And no outs. And the base is jacked. Well, he missed a sign or something, but Exxon told him step off. So ball and 2 strikes as Carpenter will step back in. And now the 1-2, and Carpenter lifts that one down the third base line and into the bullpen. And we'll keep it at a ball and 2 strikes. So again, the 1-2 to Carpenter. He just fouls that one off. "28 runs driven in, 10 doubles. Does have 3 home runs on the year, does Carpenter. And the 1-2 from Hansen. Nice job of keeping in front by Cook. And the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. And nobody out. And the base is loaded. That 2-2 pitch misses wide. So count full, nowhere to go. Nowhere to put him, and Rojas coming up next. Got to feed him. And the payoff pitch, ball 4, and a run will come in. And I'll bring up Josh Rojas. Oh for 2. Josh 0 for 2 tonight. Was hit by a pitch in his second at bat in the second inning. Flown out to right twice. Well, he wanted that one. Is that his ball 1? 9-2 our score. Bases loaded. Game-ending runs at first. Playing them deep everywhere. Rojas has 2 home runs this week. That one was back to the screen. It was a 1-1. Oh, and it hit him. He didn't want it. He didn't want it. Remember, we had a game earlier on Monday. It went off the back of a hitter. Umpire didn't call it. And then we saw the little chat they had between the two of them, a little wink and a nod, saying, hey, I wanted you to have the bat. But here we go, 10-2, or 10-2, as Carpenter goes up to second.
Running for American Fork at first.
The second time tonight, Rojas been hit. Ryder Robinson, the other one that's wore more than him. That's 5-hit batsman, only 2 hitters. So Dax Newman is a pitcher of record in this one, in line for the win. He can end it with a base hit. Carpenter at second base. They will freeze on the line drive. See it through. But Newman hits one on the wall. This one's over. And AF will go on to play Riverton. And we get into that game on, well, if it were to happen. Don't want to speak it into existence, but we can go through the game that was here at Miller Field. That one is through the infield. Carpenter rounding second. And the throw, not in time. And AF is going back to the 6-8 title game. As that will do it, 12-2. The 10-run Mercy Rule off the single from Dax Newman. As Carpenter was taken off the moment he saw it. And knew it was over, and American Fork and Riverton will play on Friday. Game 1 is at 7 p.m. at UVU. We'll be there for that one. But to Farmington, amazing year for Coach Alex Exxon and his Farmington Phoenix on making a run here in the state tournament, get themselves all the way to this position, and not to hang their heads about. Go beat Fremont twice and able to avenge those losses within their region. An outstanding year for Exxon and his boys. But the reigning 6-8 champs going back to the championship series. And let's go to our Heineman Associates player of the game. I'm going to go Fisher Ingersoll. Fisher with a 3-run double got things started. He had a 3-run double in the second, an RBI single in the fifth, and scored 2 runs. A big, big night for Fisher Ingersoll. Thought he was absolutely spectacular. And congratulations, Coach Jared Ingersoll and the Cavemen getting back to defend their title as they will take on Riverton again Friday night, 7 p.m. is Game 1. And we'll have it for you right here on KSLSports.com. For Addison Kerr, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and for watching Game Night Live Rewind's coverage of the 2022 6A State Baseball Tournament.